Guys, welcome in to the official college football week number 12 weather report. We've got some crazy stuff happening right now, so I got to get this video up, and I might have to do a part 2 to this on Friday, but I've got my 8 bets that I love based off of the weather, guys. It's very easy this time of year to manipulate Vegas with the use of the weather, especially when it comes to college football games. So I'm going to go through all the weather report on all these games, and then we're going to look at my 8 bets. These 3 MAC games that are happening tonight, it's pretty standard. It's possible light snow. You know, we like the under in the Western Michigan, Central Michigan game. I like Northern Illinois to win outright. But other than that, I would not, that's typical 31 degrees and possible light snow for this time of year. SMU and Tulane looks like full systems go. 50 degrees, nice night there for Thursday. This is an interesting one, guys. South Florida and Tulsa playing in potentially below freezing weather. I will talk about this on my weather bets. I love the under 58.5, especially a warm weather team like South Florida playing in possible snow showers. San Diego State, New Mexico playing in 38 degrees. That's pretty standard. Now moving on to Saturday, and guys, this is a behemoth. We've got Texas Tech, Iowa State playing a night game in 16-degree weather. That is horrible news for Texas Tech. I love the under in this game. Texas Tech's offense is going to be grounded by the weather, and I also like Iowa State minus the 3.5, but I love the under more. This Kansas State, West Virginia game, guys, I like the under in this as well. 34 degrees is not horrible, but I just think this is Kansas State's kind of weather. I like the under. Louisiana and FSU, it says a slight chance for moderate showers. I wouldn't read too much into that. If you're really looking to bet the over on that game, I would look up the actual weather in Tallahassee. Penn State and Rutgers, 38 and mostly clear. That's pretty good for this time of year there in New Jersey. Tennessee, South Carolina, 48 degrees. I would say full systems go for both of those offenses. NC State, Louisville. Guys, this is another one. I love the under in this game. When you look at NC State, what they want to do, the quarterback injury, Louisville also dealing with an injured quarterback, right at freezing, the temperature 33 degrees. I think that favors NC State and their style of playing closer games. I love NC State plus the 4, and I like the under. Syracuse, Wake Forest, I don't know about that. It doesn't have, that's an outdoor game. Game is not in the Carrier Dome, but I'm not sure the weather on that. Duke and Pittsburgh, I love Duke plus the 7.5. It's 33 degrees and mostly clear. We've got Indiana and Michigan State, 24 degrees, possible light snow showers. The over-under in that game is 47.5. For whatever it's worth, there is value on the over. We've got Miami taking on Clemson. Full systems go there. Ohio State and Maryland, 41 degrees should be fine if you have the Buckeyes minus the 27.5, 6-degree winds. We're always looking at the winds when it comes to the Ohio State games. Illinois and Michigan, that's a noon game. A lot of people in on the under in that game, 26 degrees, partly cloudy. Northwestern and Purdue, I love the under. This is an 11 a.m. Central start time in Indiana. I believe it's 28 degrees. Northwestern can't score. Love the under. Coastal Carolina, Virginia is not happening due to the tragedy with Virginia football. We've got Georgia, Kentucky. That's colder, 34 degrees. I would have to check the over-under in that game. I think it's in the 50s, the lower 50s. UConn and Army, 34 degrees. I'm liking the under. It's a small number, 43.5, but I do like the under. Houston, East Carolina, full systems go in that game. Cincinnati, Temple, good enough, 39 degrees, mostly sunny. Navy, UCF. You're always going to have a chance for a slight shower. I wouldn't read too much into that. It says it's going to rain. You'd have to look up, Central Florida, the weather forecast and things like that. Texas and Kansas, here's a fun one. 33 degrees, man. So on Monday, I came out with my best bets video, and I said I loved the over in this game. This doesn't inspire confidence. I'm not going to overreact. 33 degrees is not horrible, but that is not ideal offensive weather, especially for Texas playing in 33-degree weather. Western Kentucky, Auburn should be fine. Here's another one, Iowa and Minnesota. And guys, the over-under on this game is 32, so it's cutting it really close. I think it's 32.5 right now. 16 degrees. I do like the under, but it's cutting it close at 32.5. Georgia Tech, North Carolina's fine. UMass and A&M, slight chance of rain, 46. I would have to look at the forecast. UAB and LSU, full systems go. We like the over in that game. UTSA and Rice, maybe some light rain, but it should be fine. Washington State and Arizona, 61 degrees and beautiful. Colorado State, Air Force, 30 degrees, pretty much as best as you're going to get this time of year. Oregon State, Arizona State, beautiful. San Jose State, Utah State, a little bit colder, 27 degrees. I like San Jose State -2. Boston College, Notre Dame, 25 degrees. So, yeah, I was thinking about including this in my, weather bets, possibly the under. I do like Boston College plus the 20.5. It's just too big of a number for a Notre Dame offense that struggles, to pass the ball. But here, I would say the under, but there's not great value on it because it would be under 44. Stanford and Cal, it's beautiful. Colorado and Washington, very nice, 44 and sunny. USC, UCLA, we're expecting a very high scoring game. They're 65 and mostly sunny. Oregon and Utah, 43 degrees. It's perfect in Eugene. Florida and Vanderbilt, that's pretty good, 40 degrees and mostly clear. We've got Ole Miss and Arkansas, a little bit colder there, 35 degrees in Fayetteville. Once again, we saw last week how, the weather affected LSU and Arkansas with it being freezing. South Alabama and Southern Miss looks, when it says slight chance, I'm not too worried. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, 38 degrees, a little bit colder. I love the under in that game, guys. Wisconsin, Nebraska, 29 degrees. I love the under in that game as well. That's an 11 a.m. Central start time. Love the under. New Mexico State, Missouri, very cold for Missouri, 28 degrees. I love the under. I think it's under 47 or something. I don't know exactly. UL Monroe and Troy, pretty good weather. Akron and Buffalo. So there's going to be severe heavy snow on Saturday in the Buffalo area. You need to hammer the under 47.5. I'm guessing the line is going to need to be totally readjusted, probably to 42 or 43. They are going to get bands of lake effect snow. It is impossible to predict how much they're going to get because it's all lake effect. But there is some, fake stuff going out there. They keep saying the Browns-Bills game is going to have a bunch of snow. No, the snow is coming on Friday and Saturday. It's going to be out of the area on Sunday. So this game is going to get annihilated. I'm actually starting to get worried this game has a chance of being canceled, which is something we don't want because we want the value of the under in this game. They might take this game off the board. I'm not too sure, guys. I would get in on it now, but I'm not even sure if it's worth betting because they may void the bet if the game gets moved or if it gets canceled or rescheduled. I don't know. You've got Florida Atlantic and Middle Tennessee. Beautiful. UTEP and FIU. We love UTEP to cover that 14-point spread. Texas State, Arkansas State, 46 degrees. That's fine. A little bit colder. Boise State, Wyoming, 21 degrees. We like the under in that game. Nevada, Fresno State playing in fine 38-degree temperatures. And then UNLV and Hawaii will be enjoying 74 degrees. And then we do have some FCS matchups. Austin Peay and Alabama kicking off, I think, 11 a.m. Central. It's going to be 50 and fine. East Tennessee State and Mississippi State playing in nice weather. Utah Tech, it seems like a made-up university. Utah Tech and BYU, 29 degrees, a little bit colder. Let's get to my weather bets now. All right, so these are the official weather bets. South Florida at Tulsa. We like the under. Like I said, 58.5, 30 degrees at kickoff. And guys, this is an 8 o'clock Central Time start. So it's only going to get colder as the night goes on. It's a later start. This is a Friday game, and we love the under, mainly targeting that South Florida offense in cold weather. I do not believe they're going to be able to function properly, and I will take the under in that game. Texas Tech at Iowa State. This is one of the best ones you're going to see. The under 47.5. 16 degrees. Texas Tech, we're targeting them. We do not believe they're going to be able to function in 16-degree weather against a good defense on the road. I also like Iowa State minus the 3, but give me the under in that game. NC State at Louisville, the under 45, 33 degrees kickoff temperature. This game, in my opinion, will be controlled by NC State. I like NC State possibly to win this game outright, even after losing last week in the crazy 20-point upset. The weather suits NC State so much. Louisville dealing with quarterback injury. I like NC State, and I like the under. Northwestern at Purdue, the under 46. This line has been falling. I think it was 49 when it opened. It's down to 46. You're talking about 28 degrees at kickoff. You're talking about an early noon kickoff, 11 a.m. Central in Indiana. We love the under 46. Northwestern, we're targeting their offense. They're not good. They will not score much. Purdue will not be able to supply, in my opinion, 38 or 41 points to get this over to hit. Iowa at Minnesota, this is rough. It is risky. 32.5, it's a small number. This is 16-degree kickoff temperatures. Iowa, we know the story. Sure, their offense has been a little bit better, but Minnesota's defense is very, very solid. And then Minnesota is a team, they hate throwing. They really can't throw. They don't have receivers. They just want to run. They're extremely one-dimensional. That sets up favorably for Iowa's solid run defense to play really well. And neither one of these teams are going to out-athlete each other. So you're just going to be looking at good fundamental defensive football. There's just not a lot of skill position talent involved in this game. I know it's a very small number, but if you do think about it, I mean, you've got a 17-14 game with the under hitting. I know that you think that's low scoring, but when you have all these factors playing out, it's 16 degrees, it's two really bad offenses with no explosive players facing two good defenses in Minnesota. The factors tell me the under is still going to hit. We get like a 17-13 game. You get like a 13-7, 13-10 type game. The under hits. Akron at Buffalo, the under 47.5. Severe heavy snow expected. Massive snow bands. We are worried about this game possibly being canceled. We will see. New Mexico State at Missouri. I do like the under. It's at 46.5. This is one of those games where Missouri, there's just not a lot of motivation. They're 28-point favorites. New Mexico State has a horrible offense. I could see a game where Missouri shuts out New Mexico State 42-0 and the under hits. Although it is kind of marginal, if New Mexico State scores a garbage time touchdown. Guys, when I factor everything in, I'm looking at the weather, I'm looking at how cold it is, I'm looking at these teams' mentalities, and I like the under in it. And then Kansas State at West Virginia, we like the under. I think the weather favors Kansas State. Kansas State wants to ball control. They want to play defense. And I think they want a lower scoring game. They're 7.5-point favorites. I don't love that line, but I do love the under 54.5, partly due to the weather and the way Kansas State wants to play it. So guys, those are my official weather bets for Week 12. There might have to be a part 2 to this video on Friday, depending on how the forecast shifts. But there are, obviously a lot of these games are just so cold. That's why I had to get this video out here on Wednesday and really hammer some of these weather picks before these lines really start adjusting. I think that South Florida Tulsa line, that's going to be down to 55. Texas Tech, Iowa State's going to plummet. Akron, Buffalo is going to plummet and then probably go off the board. So I think the Iowa-Minnesota line is probably going to be stoned at 32.5. I don't see it moving either way. It might move up a little bit because people would find value betting over 32.5. I mean, we'll see. But either way, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.